How is technology the disruptor when it comes to media and especially news media?
The way it's happening in India, and the way it's happening in much of the world, not just India, is that decision making is very narrowly concentrated in a few hands. So what it does in that situation, technology deepens existing divisions. It deepens, it disrupts. It's not an equal disruptor. It disrupts some more than it disrupts others. So in the sense that you've heard of the digital divide, that gets deeper. If you look at a profile of who's online, there is a class profile to it, there is a gender profile to it, there is a caste profile to it. You can find that. Okay? So and the class and gender profiles are visible in many other societies and countries as well. It's not unique to India. See, firstly, whether it is one is to stop looking at digital media as some separate compartmentalized entity with no connection to the rest of media. That's not true. The same guys own everything. Mukesh Ambani owns the largest TV network. He owns First Post. He owns a huge amount of digital platform. He owns a hell of a lot of other things. He owns a hell of a lot of journalists. So, where is this great difference between digital media and the rest? You have to see them as related entities. Now, I, as a journalist who's been 36 years in the media, have come into the digital space as well, because obviously there are some spaces there. Don't romanticize them. Okay, the biggest monopolies in the world are the digital monopolies. Last week, the 5 corporations with largest by market share in the world are all digital companies: Apple, Google, right? So why are you going to suddenly expect them to behave much more nicely than the TV monopolies? They own them. The Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Google earns 72% of search. eBay 68% of auctions. Microsoft, Google and Apple own something like 80% of email. Okay, these are gigantic monopolies. The second thing about these monopolies that sets them apart from any other, no other monopolies in the world can claim that distinction. These guys own your personal data and they traffic in it. Yeah, I call them human data traffickers. You send an email to your friend saying you're planning to go to Brazil for a holiday. You'll be algorithmed out of your mind in the next one day how many ads you'll get for resorts in Sao Paulo, and right. These guys have access to your banking information, to your personal information. That makes them different from any other kind of business in the world. Yeah, except perhaps intelligence agencies and espionage agencies. So stop romanticizing them. Utilize the space and don't imagine that the spaces we do have, there are spaces, groups like yours, mine exist because there are spaces. Don't imagine that those spaces are a given. They're constantly under assault from these guys who just are in the process of figuring out a leak-proof revenue model. That's all.
Okay, my question is, when it comes to the common man, do you think media and technology have helped them become more compliant?
The internet allows you a voice. It doesn't guarantee you that anybody will listen to you. Use it, play in it, build on it, utilize your freedom of expression while it lasts, before those spaces are also bought over and taken over. Don't romanticize it. All media in their time have undergone a great deal of applause and romanticization. Yeah. Say when Gutenberg brought the printing press, it did bring about, a revival of, it brought about a great deal of reading, but it also landed you with the print media that you have got today. Okay, I'm saying that in the early phases, it always looks beautiful. Raymond Williams said many decades ago that radio would liberate humankind. That was 6 months before Hitler used radio, as a major weapon for his invasion of Czechoslovakia. Okay, television was introduced in this country in 1956 or so as an educational instrument. Yeah, have a look at how educational it is today. It's easy to romanticize something, and of course there are good and positive features in every one of these mediums. But it's good, it's not a good idea to romanticize them while actually the direction each of these mediums are taking is the opposite of what we are romanticizing.
Okay. So do you think then hence we need, because Indian law is always playing catch up, do you need a more stronger law or a more updated law for the digital space?
You know, if you're looking at laws on child pornography, you're looking at one kind of a thing. If you're looking at laws relating to freedom of expression, you're looking at another kind of thing. The laws have to be according to that, and no individual is or entity is above the existing laws. So the question is also about how compliance happens in a new medium which is technologically perhaps unique, if not in content or in other ways. So that is a question, and that's a tricky question that has to be debated endlessly. But in fact, till about a few months ago, there was a very big attempt to bring in a so-called free internet, free basics. Right? It was anything but free. It was a scam. It was to force you to use just 12 websites, including one astrology website. So that was your free basics, right? So everyone defines their freedom in different ways. I say that needed to be rejected, and I'm very glad it was. Democratization of the digital also means access for millions of people who have zero access, and also that it can't be, you can't give them that and say it's democratized. They have a lot of other needs: education, housing, shelter. This has got to be one of those. It's got to go with those, then it will achieve and attain some richness.